You can't expect to have a man who's a 10 out of 10 if you're not a 10 out of 10 yourself. If you have trust issues, you're controlling, you're bossy, no personality, a negative spirit, you're not supportive, you're always gossiping and complaining, and a temper, you need to heal or get help to figure yourself out before you try to match with what you're looking for. Because the person that you're looking for is more than likely looking for someone to bring them peace, and you can't bring them peace with a negative spirit. What's up, YouTube? So, as I'm sure you all have read in the title, today's topic is the unrealistic expectations women have for men. Now, before I get started, I do want to say this video does not pertain to all women. If you do not fall into this category, pat yourself on the back and make it a mental note. But if you do fall into this category, this video may leave a bad taste in your mouth, and hopefully you don't click out in the middle of the video, but this is definitely some information you need to hear. And if you haven't already, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button to get notified for new content weekly. Now ladies, for whom this may concern, what I've come to realize in this short period of time I've spent on earth is that most average women don't want an average man. Most average women want a man that matches their standards and their expectations of what their ideal man is supposed to be. Now, nothing is wrong with having a type, but your standards may be keeping you single or in and out of bad relationships. I'm sure most of you have heard this before in some form. I've heard women say they want a man that's 6 feet tall, drive a certain car, makes X amount of money, live in a certain area, has to be a great communicator, funny, driven, great in bed, a certain race, body type, have to love them for who they are, and a long laundry list of other things. Now, let's just focus on height for a minute. Did you know that only 14.5% of the world's population is over 6 feet tall? That's the entire world's population, and you just got rid of 85% of the men. So, just off of height alone, that's what you're working with, 14.5%. Out of that 14.5%, take out all of the men that are in prison, all of the gay guys, all of the men that are in committed relationships, all of the men that are married, all of the men that you have access to, and all of the men that are outside of the race that you're attracted to, and that leaves you with even a smaller number, and that's just off of height alone. Add in all of those things that's on the list of what your ideal man should look like and what he should be, and see what number you're left with. And even if you did find this great guy, this perfect guy, this 10 out of 10 that matched your strict standard, I don't want to be mean or ugly or anything, but if you're not a 10 out of 10 on his scale or can hold his attention, he probably wouldn't even want you because you're not his type. And on top of that, a lot of women don't approach men because of the fear of rejection.
The first intention of like, oh, I'm kind of into you.
Someone like starts to turn their head away, but their eyes stay looking at you.
You don't want to look like you're just like staring at them, and then they're gonna be like, do I have something on my face?
Smiling a lot, smizing, if you will. The key to flirting is to making the person feel like they're the only person in the room.
The movies have taught you that like, you do a little wink and like you like flip your hair. But I would never do that. Like, you saw how awkward that was. Like, what is this?
Does that do anything for you? And then I'm like, okay, maybe I should stand more straight. No, they're gonna think I'm too tall. No, okay.
When I'm flirting with someone, my posture is like the best it's ever been. Like my ballet teacher would be so proud.
I'm supposed to like have my chest out and I'm supposed to like, hi.
Oh, this is what's so funny about having small boobs is like, I'll still do it, but I'll feel dumb doing it because it's sort of like, and here is my necklace. Touch is like a really great, like easy flirting. You just kind of put your hand on their shoulder.
I do a lot of hand on the small of the back, which is typically a guy move.
But I feel like usually it comes off as like I'm trying to like grab their ass. So I'm like, and they're just like, whoa, girl.
So if he doesn't approach you, that lowers your percentages even more on finding the right guy. The way most women will try to approach a guy is by very subtle, flirtatious hints in his direction, with the hopes that he'll pursue her and make the first move. And where a lot of women fall short, not all, but where a lot of women fall short is they try to secure a guy's interest by having sex with him. Let me share something with you women that I'm sure you all know already. If you're attractive and feminine, most men will have sex with you. And if no one has to know about it, that increases the amount of men that will have sex with you. That doesn't mean that the guy that you slept with wants to be with you on a higher, more intimate level. It just means that you checked off a box on his very small list of standards he's looking for in a woman. And where a lot of women get hurt, they think that they deserve the type of man that has sex with them, when in reality that's not the case. This is where I believe that whole saying all men are the same comes from. I believe that saying comes from a group of women who constantly get hurt by men that they attract with their instead of their charisma and their personality. Now, poom poom is low-hanging fruit for immature men. A man who has purpose in life will value how you make him feel and the value that you add to his life over sex. Sex is the most intimate act two people can perform together. So if your emotions are tied up in it, stop making it recreational and actually vet the people that you're engaging in it with. Now, some of these people out here are very crafty, but do it to the best of your ability. Now, back to what I was saying about standards and expectations women put on men. You can't expect to have a man who's a 10 out of 10 if you're not a 10 out of 10 yourself. If you have trust issues, you're controlling, you're bossy, no personality, a negative spirit, you're not supportive, you're always gossiping and complaining, and a temper, you need to heal or get help to figure yourself out before you try to match with what you're looking for. Because the person that you're looking for is more than likely looking for someone to bring them peace, and you can't bring them peace with a negative spirit. And on top of that, if you're not healed yourself, if you just so happen to find this good looking, super attractive, hard working guy who's into you, you won't be able to keep him. Because if he's super attractive to you, the chances are he's super attractive to other women as well. And if you can't handle the fact that other women are going to find him attractive, other women are going to shoot their shot, other women are going to slide in his DM, he could be completely innocent, but your jealousy and your suspicion from past trauma will end up running him away because your confidence is low. Or if you want a hard-working, successful man, if you need attention because you felt neglected before in past relationships or past family trauma, you won't be completely ready to accept the fact that the reason he's successful is because he's hardworking and that requires his time. So he may not have a whole lot of time to give you, but the time that he does give you is very valuable to him. But you overlook the value he places on his time and you demand more from him because you feel neglected to the point to where he's not as successful as he would like to be and he's not happy. And that will begin to place a wedge in between both of you that will end up separating you two later on down the line. Now, obviously, there's more to certain situations with different dynamics, but the goal is to have confidence and balance on both people's part. I know so many women that pass up on great guys every day because they either push them to the side or throw them in the friend zone because they don't match their expectation. You remember that guy you thought was corny and was always trying to make you laugh and spend time with you? Or that guy that picked you up in his beat up car to take you out to eat the Applebee's because he couldn't afford to take you to some upscale restaurant and agreed to pay because he was a hard worker? Or that guy that messaged you every morning, good morning, beautiful, and was trying to do everything that he could to make your day better and set up dates and try to spend time with you, and you told all your friends he was cheesy, needy, and corny? Those are the guys that are relationship material. Those are the guys that you shy away from, but instead you catch yourself throwing everything that you have into a guy who you consider to be a 10, and they aren't doing anything to try to schedule another date. You are always the one who has to reach out first, and every time you want to spend time with them, they always give you an excuse on why they can't, and breaking your heart and your self-esteem through the entire process. Or find someone who's living that fast life, always partying or at the clubs all the time and trying to get them to commit to you. I'm not saying you have to settle, and I understand that physical attraction is important, but don't let your standards price you out the game. And ladies, let me put y'all up on some more game. If a dude is a 10 out of 10 fine, 6 feet tall, a great communicator, and all of the other stuff you have on your list, there's a very high chance if he's not newly out of a relationship, he's either taken or he's still in his whole phase. Because trust me, a woman that knows what's up, she doesn't play. If she sees a dude with potential and got it going on, if that woman has her priorities straight, dudes like that don't stay on the market long. And the dudes that are on the market and are on that down slope and ready to settle down, they're probably gonna want someone who's either on their level or way out of their league. That's just how guys work. Most men's standards for women revolve around physical attraction and how they make them feel. Guys, if you agree, please let me know in the comments, but most men don't really care about what type of car a woman drives, how much money she makes, where she works, or any of that. Outside of physical attraction, most men's standards for a woman is to make him feel good and to feel like a man. So for most women, the only thing that you need for a man is to be physically attractive, be peaceful, and be of some substance. I just want you to know that the guy that you're looking for based on your strict expectations may not exist. But if he does exist, make sure you yourself are emotionally and mentally healed, you're drop dead gorgeous, and you are 10 out of 10 on your personal scale in order to match his 10. That's all I have today, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and that little bell button beside it to get notified for new content. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you think about the topic. See you guys next week, and as always, thanks for watching.